Introducing the Real Talk Podcast, starring Nathan Duarte and Matthew Neves. Tonight's episode, Films of the 70s.
Welcome back to the Real Talk Podcast, episode 72. I'm your host, Nathan, and I'm joined by the man himself to my left, Matthew Neves.
Damn.
And today we are going to be talking about films of the 70s.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really excited about this episode. I've been watching a lot of 70s films lately to gear up for this. But we're going to start off like we always start off with some real news.
Oh, shit.
And our first topic of real news, Avatar. We can't stop talking about this movie for some reason.
Because it makes money. Makes so much money.
James Cameron heard I said it was mid, and he's like, yeah, how do you feel about this? Avatar, the
Yep.
fourth highest grossing film of all time now.
Oh, yeah.
Passing Infinity War and The Force Awakens.
Mhm.
This movie was bigger than Star Wars Returning?
Yeah.
It's hard to, wrap my head around that.
I think the reason why is because it's a worldwide gross, not domestic market.
Right.
Domestic market, Star Wars is still the top of all time. It almost hit $1 billion domestic, which is fucking insane. Whereas Avatar, the first one only made like 700 domestic, but the fucking foreign market skyrocketed. That's why it's like
100%.
Yeah.
It's just insane.
It's probably gonna be the third place. Avatar: The Way of the Water. It's gonna beat out Titanic.
So then James Cameron will have two films in the top three with another one ready to come out next year that he says is bigger.
Yep.
It's like, damn, James Cameron might go down as the GOAT at the end of this shit, numbers wise.
Numbers wise, absolutely.
Numbers wise,
box
obviously.
office.
Yeah, box office wise.
Yeah.
James Cameron, hard to beat, man. That's crazy that it passed Force Awakens. It's hard for me to understand that.
You can't comprehend it.
I just cannot comprehend. Every time I see that, I'm just like,
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
7 weeks in a row, number one. That's, the last film that did that? Avatar.
damn,
I'm not even kidding.
damn. Not even Top Gun Maverick could do that.
No.
And that one had a hype train like crazy.
That had
but-
a good run.
But it's like you said, I don't know how well Top Gun Maverick did worldwide, but Avatar is just a movie that has this worldwide appeal.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, crazy stuff. We've got a new film coming in.
Next up, we got. So excited about this. I
Yeah.
kind of didn't know about this until recently.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Mann
Yeah.
is directing a film called Ferrari. And Adam Driver is playing Enzo Ferrari. Michael Mann's first film since 2015. I'm fucking hyped.
Yeah.
I'm hyped.
I like Michael Mann's films.
I love, Michael Mann, responsible for classics.
Yeah.
Heat's one of my favorite films of all time.
Even more recently too, like Collateral.
Yes,
Collateral's
a great film.
Public Enemies isn't that bad of a film. I think it's pretty good.
What else? You got?
His most recent one in 2015 was Black Hat. That one got
Didn't see that
probably
one.
the not so great reception, but he did Thief as well.
Thief
with
with James Caan, yes.
Ooh, that was a good fucking movie.
Public Enemies with
Johnny Depp.
With Johnny Depp, I like that film, and
Yeah.
I love Will Smith's Ali.
Yes, he did
That is
one.
one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy that film. Last of the Mohicans, that's my mom's favorite movie.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Shout out my mom. It's her favorite film.
Hell yeah.
So, legendary director. It's cool to see him back.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's in good hands.
Oh yeah. Just
Ferrari-
from the photo itself.
this photo of Adam Driver looking like Enzo Ferrari has sold me.
He
I
looks so cool.
cannot wait to see this film. If it's anything like Ford versus Ferrari, it's going to be a masterpiece.
Absolutely.
Next
Damn.
up, we got Mandalorian Season 3 coming out March 1st. Let's fucking go. Are
Damn.
you caught up on Mandalorian now? How much do you watch?
I saw Mandalorian season 1 and 2.
Mhm.
I preferred the first season over season 2. I think because the second season felt like fan service at times.
Yeah.
Especially coming from someone who has not seen everything Star Wars.
Uh-huh.
It's like, oh, Ashoka, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, look, there's Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker. He looks like a video game character. I was like, what the fuck's happening here? I understand. I understand the fans love it,
It was good.
but I did not see the Boba Fett show.
Mhm.
Apparently, Boba Fett wasn't in it. That's
Boba
news
Fett,
to me.
yeah. Best supporting actor, Boba Fett.
And his-
For Book of Boba Fett.
That's fucking weird. I did not see the fucking Andor because I don't know who the fuck that was until I.
Wow. So I saw Andor recently.
Yeah.
And it is so doesn't feel like Star Wars.
Okay.
And it's not a bad thing. It's different. It feels like more dark and gritty. Doesn't
Yeah.
feel like Star Wars. But it's cool. It's a different take, and some of the fanboys would be upset about it, and I kind of had that feeling towards the beginning because it was a slow burn.
Mm-hmm.
But by the end of it, I loved it. Andor's a great watch,
Okay.
and finally we're getting Mando season 3.
Yeah.
They space out these seasons because they're doing so much with the Star Wars slate
Right.
that it's like they pump out a Mando season, and then you have to wait like 2 fucking years. When did Mando season 2 come out?
Long ago.
Long time ago,
In a
like,
galaxy far, far away.
I barely I
Sorry,
barely
that's bad.
remember that season.
I'm sorry. No, I mean, like, I'm hoping season 3 is more standalone-ish.
Yeah, it seems like it is. They're kind of setting up how he lost his Mandalorian.
Yeah.
How do you say it? Like,
Armor?
he didn't lose he lost like the title of Mandalorian.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And he needs
yeah.
to return to the waters of Mandalore to like
Mhm.
reinstate him as a Mandalorian, and I think that's a really cool concept.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Excited about that. All right, let's
Damn.
move into our main event of the evening.
Do we do the transition again after we finish off?
Yes, we do.
Okay, just making sure.
We still don't know how to use this fucking soundboard.
It's okay. You do use it more than me. I don't know how to fuck. Like, what is this? Fuck it. I'm not. I'm gonna regret it later.
All right, our main event of the evening is films of the 70s.
Yes.
So, with this podcast, I've been trying to go back and watch all the films that it's like that are the must watches that I haven't seen, and a
Yeah.
lot of those happen to be in the 70s. I hadn't seen many 70s films, and I really just had to sit down and watch them. So I've been watching almost a 70s film per night.
Nice.
I have been enjoying it so much. That new Hollywood era of the 70s and all these unique ideas. Wow, I've been enjoying it so much, and I know that you always impress me with your knowledge of film. So I thought maybe we could talk about some of the films I've seen, and you could fill me in on the ones I need to see
Sure.
and discuss some of your favorites.
Yeah. No, yeah, the 70s was a great fucking decade for movies. It allowed a lot of up and coming filmmakers to do whatever the fuck they want, and out came a
Yeah.
lot of great classics.
They took big influence from European film at the time, which was doing a lot more experimental things, while in North America, it was just very old school.
Yeah, it was still golden age of Hollywood
Mhm.
still. So it wasn't until like I think post 1969, 1970 that they started like trying out new shit, and it's kind of made it fucking refreshing.
Mhm.
So,
All right, so what I've been watching, I'm gonna just list off some of the movies I've seen lately.
Okay.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I watched Chinatown and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest back-to-back days. And now I'm obsessed with Jack Nicholson. I think he's such a good fucking
He's
actor.
fucking great. He's over there
Yeah,
on that wall.
He is so, it's funny, like, I don't know, I grew up like watching a lot of sports, and it's like he was always Joker
Yeah.
and the guy who's at every Lakers game ever.
Come down to the
then-
Lakers game.
But then I watch his 70s stuff,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, this is why he's such a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
His performance in Chinatown. Can we
Yeah.
talk about that movie a little bit? That one?
Absolutely, dude. I fucking love Chinatown.
Chinatown is awesome.
Yeah.
It is such a amazing like homage to like film noir,
Mhm.
and the screenplay is just one of the best screenplays of all time. The way
Yeah.
that movie is written and the way it takes you for this ride.
Yeah.
And Jack Nicholson's acting is unbelievable in that film.
He's
When was the
ama-
first time you seen Chinatown?
Chinatown, the first time I saw it was a few years back. I remember watching it, and for me, I didn't know what to expect. I saw
Me neither.
I saw the poster,
I didn't know anything.
and I was hooked, and fucking that ending still gets me, man. That ending really does get me.
It's Chinatown.
fucking
That ending is so awesome.
yeah. lot of good moments in that. I would say it's probably the best neo noir.
100%. The
Like,
best I've ever seen.
Good
What
stuff.
an awesome detective film, and what an awesome performance from Jack Nicholson. And then
Yeah.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, which just had me smiling the entire film.
Yeah.
There's some wholesome moments, there's sad moments. It's a great ending. What a special film, too.
Yeah. I saw that at an early age.
From a pretty
too.
simple idea.
Yeah. I remember seeing that one at an early age, and it might be my favorite Nicholson performance just because I don't know, something about it just hits a little differently. Also, a lot of actors who were unknown at the time that became
Yes.
fucking Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito has like 5 lines in that film.
He's great.
And he's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Fucking.
But everybody's awesome. You fall in love with every single character.
Oh yeah.
And they each have their own individual thing. They have their own individual personalities, but you fall in love with them all different for a different reason. And that's what I love about that film.
Yeah.
It's their character building is some of the best I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. Like wonderful direction. I love Milos Forman. He made a lot of great films before and after.
I haven't seen too much of his stuff. So
No?
is there a film you could recommend me watching?
Man on the Moon.
Man on the Moon.
Man
I
on the
haven't seen
Moon. That's an Andy Kaufman biopic starring Jim Carrey. I fucking love that
it.
movie.
When did that come out?
99, I think.
Oh, so
That's a little later,
Mhm.
but still pretty classic. I want to watch Amadeus, which is another Milos Forman film that he made. That's fucking epic. It's yeah.
what else did I watched? The Conversation.
Okay.
Finally. So I don't want to get too much into Coppola because we had our Coppola episode.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But what I do want to say is The Conversation is fucking awesome. And Coppola lost to himself at the Academy Awards that year because both The Godfather 2 and The
Yeah.
Conversation came out in 1974.
Yeah.
What a fucking run this man had in the 1970s. That's all I want to
Damn.
say about Coppola. He may be the best director of the 1970s. It's hard to say.
There's a lot of good directors.
There's just a lot of great directors that had great runs in the 70s.
Yeah.
I had seen Serpico before.
Okay.
I love Serpico.
Mhm.
I love young Pacino.
He's fucking great.
He's so good in everything he does. Is this those more subtle performances before he's like, a little
Yeah,
over
yeah,
the
yeah.
top, and he still had that high pitched voice. It's like
Yeah.
after Scarface, his voice never recovered.
Well, no, fucking Tony Montana took him
Yeah.
over.
I feel like it's like Austin, but you know how like Austin Butler still like is walking around the red carpet like this,
yeah, yeah,
and he's doing his Elvis voice.
He's still dedicated.
I feel like that's what happened to that's what happened to Al Pacino. Like his voice never recovered.
Yeah.
After Scarface, it just got more and more raspy.
No, absolutely. But Serpico, that's a really good Pacino film.
Serpico, and the one I did see this last week was Dog Day Afternoon, one I always wanted to see.
Yes.
Pacino's amazing in Dog Day Afternoon.
Yep.
It's an amazing. You know, I knew the film was about a bank robbery,
Mm-hmm.
and then in the opening scene, they're robbing the bank, and I'm like, wait, they're gonna rob it in the opening scene? Like,
Yeah.
the whole movie's gonna be the bank robbery? And it worked. It just worked so well. It had you at every turn of the film.
Mm-hmm.
What an excellent film! And I
Yeah.
gotta say, John Cazale.
Oh my gosh, John Cazale. I think he's the only actor that every role he was in was nominated at the Oscars.
And I think it's only 4 or 5 films.
Yeah, yeah.
4 if you count both Godfathers as one. I think.
Yeah.
So he was in Dog Day Afternoon.
Yep.
He's in Godfather 1 and 2.
Yep.
And he's in
Conversation.
He's in The Conversation.
Yeah, and then I think Deer Hunter was.
And
his
he's in
last one,
Deer Hunter,
which
and
was
they're-
another good fucking movie.
and they're all nominated.
Yeah. Yeah.
R.I.P. John Cazale,
I
gone
know.
way too soon.
Yeah.
What a great actor.
Mm-hmm.
He's the real standout of Dog Day Afternoon. I gotta say,
He was
his
really
character
good.
is so lovable, and man, I love that film.
Yeah.
What else have I seen recently?
You were messaging me. Okay, hold on.
Oh, yeah, let's get-
Because okay, Nathan, this is like 1 a.m. and you were messaging me like, "Yo, you gotta give me some 70s movies, man. Just throw out any." So I was like, "Fuck, man. If you're gonna watch a 70s film, it's got to be a gritty cop movie."
And
what-
I watched French Connection.
hell yeah.
You know, I knew about French Connection before because I've heard directors talk about French Connection as you know a real like innovative movie.
Yeah.
And I've seen the classic like the stair shot.
Yes.
I've actually seen. I had actually watched that chase sequence on YouTube before I'd even seen the film.
Mhm.
and the classic shot where he's like
Yeah.
getting shot on the stairs, right? Wow, that film is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Love French Connection. It's exactly what you said. A great, gritty 70s cop film. Really enjoyed that movie. And,
Yeah.
and you see its influence in like future films.
The car chase alone.
Oh my
I-
God, the pacing of that, it's one of the best chases of all time. Like,
Yeah.
Wow. The
Amazing
pacing really stood out to me. And yeah, those action sequences really stood out to me.
And what I also liked about French Connection was this very subtle backdrop of like Gene Hackman's character, Jimmy Popeye Doyle, whatever. Yeah, he's not a good cop
No.
at all.
He's
He's
not.
actually one of the worst fucking cops you could have on film. But the craziest thing about it was a statement on that time. You know,
Right.
because at the time it's like 71, there wasn't really that much going on because it's like, oh, the cop, oh, the hero will save the day.
Right.
It's like, no, he fucking had more people die in that whole thing. Dude, the way he finds out about the French Connection was a mistake because he was just like, yo, those Italian people, let's go follow them. And then they just so happen to open up another case.
I love
Oh
that.
my God.
I love the way the plot unfolds there. And it's like you said, it's not your traditional cop movie
Yeah.
at all. It's like he's a shit cop.
Yeah. Like, honestly. And that's what surprised me, but also impressed me about
Because
the
it's
film.
like an extremely like real take. Like every cop movie you see is like these cops are detective geniuses.
Yeah, right.
And are just one step ahead of the criminals. Like this is like a real kind of take on a cop film. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed it. Stuck with me, and I definitely see its influence in modern films. What else have I seen recently?
There's a few good ones here that you put on here. Dude, Enter the Dragon. Can you briefly talk about Bruce Lee? Come on. He had a good fucking run.
Bruce Lee had a great run in the 70s. I'm not a huge fan of martial arts films.
Oh, okay.
I'll say that. I think Enter the Dragon is the best of the best.
Yeah.
And for that reason, I put it on this list because it is the best of the best. Like, I don't necessarily seek out watching martial art films, but
Yeah.
even if you're sitting there at home like, oh, I've never watched a martial art film, I don't think that would interest me. Enter the Dragon is the highest level.
Oh yeah. Enter the Dragon is like the one that like started off. Like if that didn't get popular and if Bruce Lee wasn't a big name, MMA would not be the same.
100%.
That's how historical it is. And it's like, what
100%.
is it, 50 years old now? Like that film still holds up. The choreography, like the action. Oh my God.
It's an excellent film and really shows Bruce Lee like at the height of his, like in his prime, essentially.
Yeah. Well, it's gone too soon as well.
100%.
Yeah.
What are some films you think that are not on my list, Neves, that are classic 70s films for you?
Classic 70s films that are not on this list. I'm trying to think. I liked how you mentioned Dog Day Afternoon and Serpico because Sidney Lumet had a good run as well. He directed Pacino in both of those films, as well as William Friedkin. He had a good run in the 70s.
Sidney Lumet also did a film that I hadn't seen but want to see called The Network. Have you seen that film?
Network. Oh my God. I really want to see. I always see the speech, that
Yeah.
infamous speech, and
That came out in the 70s as well. Like,
Yeah.
what a run that this man had in the 70s.
yeah.
I mean, I think he's best known for maybe 12 Angry Men because that's like a real classic, right? But
Yeah.
his run, he also did The Wiz in the 70s. Let's talk about The Wiz.
Okay.
How do
I
you
did not
feel about-
expect to be talking about The Wiz.
How do you feel about The Wiz? Have you seen The Wiz in its entirety?
I have, and it's still a fever dream for me due to the fact that, okay, if anybody doesn't know what this is, they're probably like, what the fuck
Oh,
are these
that's
two
true.
talking about? It's like, what is, is this PG, guys? It's like, yes, it is. It's a Wizard of Oz, but it's Diana Ross and Michael Jackson, a few other actors during that time doing Broadway and
Yeah.
of Wizard of Oz.
Michael Jackson
Michael
in
Jackson.
1978
Yeah.
playing the Scarecrow
Yeah.
in Wizard of Oz. The wizard played by Richard Pryor.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Dorothy's Diana Ross.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome for what it is.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
glad. Like, is it a classic? Maybe not. Obviously, it doesn't trump the original Wizard of Oz.
yeah, but it's more of a cult status, I think.
But I love this movie.
Yeah.
I love this movie. There's just parts of it you can't take it too serious. You laugh at it, and it's just amazing to see Michael Jackson as a Scarecrow. It's something that you never thought in a million years would happen.
Fucking yeah.
So looking back, it's like you said, it's just like a fever dream that I love.
I did not expect us to be talking about The Wiz. That's a
And-
fucking great thing
And
to
Sidney Lumet, like that just
Yeah.
doesn't seem like his kind of movie, but it is.
Yeah. Hey, he took a chance on that one. I think another film that isn't on this list that I really enjoyed was Mikey and Nicky. That starred John Cassavetes and Peter Falk. They were like best friends and stuff. And I think John Cassavetes' character is like, oh, I'm running away because like I owe people money and they're trying to kill me and stuff. And his best friend's like, fuck, I gotta help you out and stuff. I get it, but like you're kind of a drag and stuff. It's like haven't talked to you in years, and it's really good performances and really good direction from Elaine May, who was originally a comedian back in the 50s, and then she started directing films during that time. Really good stuff. She had I think she had a rom-com that she did called The Heartbreak Kid, and another film as well. And then I think her career kind of just didn't go anywhere after that, which really sucks because she directed the Mikey and Nicky really well. Love the film. It's very simple. It's just two guys.
Cool.
know.
I want to check that one out.
I think it's free on YouTube.
Oh wow, free on YouTube.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
definitely
yeah.
gonna check that out.
Mm-hmm.
Another Sidney Lumet one we missed. He also did Murder on the Orient Express in the 70s. What a run!
Oh yeah, they did one in the 70s.
Yeah,
Fuck.
what a run.
Yeah.
I mean, Serpico, Dog Day, Murder on the Orient Express,
Mm-hmm.
and The Wiz.
Yeah, and The Wiz, the best one of
The best
those
one
of
of
the
all.
of the ones. Damn.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Who were the top 3 directors of the 1970s?
You
This
know,
is a tough question.
You know what? I want to shout out directors that like stood out the most during the 70s.
Mhm.
So I'm going to go William Friedkin cuz he did Exorcist and French Connection already.
Those are two. So there's so many influential films that came out in the 70s. It's
So
unreal.
I'll do William Friedkin. I'll do Sidney Lumet, and I'll do Elaine May cuz she did 3 films in the 70s, I believe, and all 3 of them were well received and I enjoyed Mikey and Nicky.
I'm gonna go. I gotta put Francis Ford Coppola.
Yeah.
I mean, Godfather 1 and 2,
Mhm.
Apocalypse Now, and The Conversation.
Oh yeah.
That's a run.
That's a home run.
That's a home run. Every single time he went up to bat, it was a home run. Man, I want to say Scorsese. He did Taxi Driver.
True.
He did Mean Streets.
Mhm.
And I feel like I'm missing something else that he did in the 70s.
He did New York with De Niro.
Uh-huh. Oh,
But-
yeah. Yeah, New York.
Yeah.
Was
Because I would say like 70s, 80s, and 90s Scorsese, he had a great run in every
The
single
thing is,
fucking
yeah,
decade.
I think if we talk any decade, you can argue Scorsese. Like
Yeah.
you said, all 3 of those decades, you can argue Scorsese as a top 3 director of the decade.
Oh, absolutely.
I guess the 70s. I think I put him on this list because it was kind of him getting his start and like
Yeah.
really establishing his style
Mhm.
that we see in future decades.
Yeah. I think 80s Scorsese is really underrated because, well, obviously Raging Bull because that was the start of it.
Right.
But even like After Hours, like, dude, man, like, I love that film. And Scorsese's a great filmmaker in every decade.
100%. And then I think my third is gonna be I'm gonna say Sidney Lumet. I think.
Okay.
I love those. I love those young Pacino movies.
Yeah.
Serpico, Dog Day. Those are just awesome films that I could rewatch over and over again.
Absolutely. Really good stuff.
Best actors of the 70s.
Oh, come on. Best actor. I'll throw out a few now. Okay. You got to talk about Paul Newman
You gotta talk
when you're
about
talking about the 70s.
Mhm.
Paul Newman and Robert Redford.
100%.
Holy shit. Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin Hoffman in the 70s. He was a fucking great actor. Oh my god. Oh, what was it?
De Niro.
De Niro. Oh shit, you're right. I'm just thinking of so many.
Yeah,
like
that's
the
the
most
thing.
obvious ones too.
Pacino, De
Pacino,
Niro are the
Niro.
obvious ones, right? I mean,
Fuck.
Pacino did Godfathers, did Serpico, did Dog. It's hard to argue that he's not the best actor of the 1970s.
That's true. That's really, really true.
It's hard to argue that he is not the best actor of the 1970s. De Niro also, I mean, did Godfather 2,
Mhm.
won the Oscar for that.
Yeah.
Did Taxi Driver, did Deer Hunter.
hmm
So many great films.
I think one actor that really stood out as well because she started like, I would say she started big in the 70s was Meryl Streep.
100%.
Like she had a good fucking run, and that run during the 70s is why she's fucking like in more films than I don't know why I can't talk now. I'm like because I'm just thinking of all the films that she was doing during that decade as well that kind of reflected on the rest of her career.
And you got to say Jack Nicholson.
Oh fuck. We forgot Jack Nicholson. No, we never forget
We
Jack.
never forget
We
Jack.
never forget
I
Jack.
mean, Chinatown, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and what else is he? What else was he in the 70s?
In the 70s?
Maybe you can kind of put me on some more Jack, because I'm just kind of learning about Jack's filmography now.
There is one film I want to see from the 70s from Jack Nicholson. It's called The Great Detail. He plays does he play a Navy SEAL? I think so.
The Great Detail.
The Great Detail, yeah. I think that's 79. Let's see. Or The Last Detail.
The last
I
detail.
I kind of fucked up on the title.
I've
guys.
seen this
Sorry about
poster. This poster's pretty iconic. Him with the stash.
Got the cigar,
That
man.
stash screams 70s. I love it.
From the premise alone, it's him and another guy taking a prisoner to just transporting them to another cell. But they're like, you know what? We're gonna give this guy the night of his life. And just hearing that premise, I'm like,
Oh, this does sound good. Two Navy
Yeah.
men are ordered to bring a young offender to prison, but decide to show him one last good time along the way.
it's just guys being dudes. Love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Since we're running low on time,
Okay.
we got to get down to the hardest hitting question: the
Shit.
top 3 films of the 1970s.
Why you gotta do that to me, man?
I know.
Why you gotta do that?
What a decade of film. And
Damn.
it's almost an impossible question. Definitely a subjective question. There's no right answer.
Yeah, I guess for 70s, Godfather 2's got to be on there. I like Godfather Part 2. Taxi Driver. That's a really good staple of the 70s. And you know what? Clockwork Orange. I know we didn't talk about Clockwork Orange, and now you're so mad.
I'm so mad that we
If
didn't
you
talk
want,
about
you can
Clockwork
say your last thoughts on that, and then we can end off.
I watched Clockwork Orange for the first time last night. Holy fuck, that movie's insane. I could not. I've been thinking about it all fucking day, and for some reason I didn't bring it up here. But wow, Kubrick's a genius. I haven't seen all of Kubrick's stuff, but obviously I've seen 2001, and I had never seen Clockwork Orange. And the posters and stuff always kind of seemed weird to me. Like it didn't seem like my kind of film.
Yeah.
But then it's everybody's kind of film. It's a masterpiece. So I love that movie.
Hell yeah.
My top. Did you pick a?
Yep.
You picked your top 3.
Yep.
Clockwork Orange is going to be in my top 3.
Mhm.
I mean, The Godfather 1 and 2 I'm going to put as 1 because it's parts.
Fair enough.
Because I think they might both have to be in the list. There's
Mhm.
2 of my favorite films of all time. And I'm going to go... Holy shit. Rocky, Star Wars.
You know what I just
Rocky,
realized?
Star Wars, Halloween.
We didn't talk about Rocky, and I'm a
We
fucking
didn't-
Rocky fan.
We
God
didn't talk
damn
about
it.
we didn't talk about the the mainstream 70s hits. I kind of wanted to get into some of the more lesser known ones.
Yeah.
Because obviously we could talk about Jaws for a whole episode.
And
Halloween,
Star Wars. Yeah,
we
yeah,
could talk about
that's
these
fair.
films forever. So my number 3 is gonna be Star Wars. It's gonna be
Okay.
New Hope. What a amazing film. Hope
Great
you
pick.
enjoyed this episode talking about 70s films. Hopefully we put you on a film you haven't seen. Maybe we didn't talk about a film that you really like from the 70s. Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Peace out.